Hello and welcome to another installment in my chain burger restaurant review series. Today we are checking out SmashBurger and I will be reviewing the classic SmashBurger. I will say I did online ordering the 3 times I tried this place and it was very efficient service. I typically try to capture that with footage, but I accidentally deleted the footage from my camera, so you'll have to take my word on it this time. With all that said, let's check the burgers out. So first impressions right out of the packaging, I think this is a pretty properly assembled burger. It looks fairly pleasing to the eye. You can see it's made up of course, patties and cheese. And then topping wise, we're dealing with tomatoes, lettuce, red onions, ketchup, and the signature smash sauce. Seems like the sauce and the ketchup are spread pretty abundantly and evenly, which is an improvement over the Shake Shack burger. If you watched that last video in my burger review series, I found that the sauce was kind of clumped in one spot, so not every bite was the same. The bun itself has a softness and a squishiness to the touch. But enough going over how it looks and feels, let's go in for a first bite. I have to say, upon first bite, I was wowed by this burger. The toppings mixed together to almost give me a Chicago-style hot dog reminiscence, in that I'm pretty sure the smash sauce has some mustard in it. The tomatoes have a nice bite to them. The pickle has a very strong bite, and a distinct pickle flavor does permeate the overall flavor of the experience. The lettuce wasn't awful. The red onions had a nice crisp to them as well. And overall, I was honestly, funnily enough, as I said, reminded of a Chicago hot dog, minus the fact that there's ketchup on there. I know that's blasphemy to put that on a Chicago hot dog. The patty and the meat itself, though, were enjoyable as well. They do have a saltiness to them, but it's not just a generic saltiness. There is an umami note. There's a little bit of a buttery richness and an overall pleasant savory vibe that the meat and cheese on their own without the toppings I thought were enjoyable and could stand on their own. I did enjoy the smash sauce itself too. It did have a mustard vibe, as I said, but probably some mayo or something creamier than just mustard in there. It doesn't have as strong of a bite as mustard, but some of the positive attributes of mustard's flavor I thought come through here. Mixes pretty well with the ketchup as well. And I will say, consistency-wise, I tested this a second time, and all these positive attributes I described were there again. Now, I tried it a third time, and what I typically do with these burger reviews is I order them twice as they normally come with all the usual toppings, and then the third time I get it plain with only cheese, because I want to see the quality of the meat and the cheese as standalone ingredients. And I will say I was a little disappointed the third time. I found it a little bit overcooked, and the same thing happened in the Shake Shack review. When I got that burger plain with only cheese, it seemed like they overcooked the burgers. There is the crispiness that I like on the edges of a smash burger, but it seemed a little overdone throughout, and you get a slightly burnt flavor, I thought, in the meat. The cheese itself seemed a little bland in flavor overall, and it wasn't as good as I remembered it. There was some slight hints of that good savory, buttery, umami vibe, but it didn't come through in every bite uniformly when I ordered the burger plain with only cheese. I do think that if a burger doesn't stand alone super well as just meat and cheese, there is something to be said about the overall quality, so that consistency dropped my overall score a little bit in terms of where I landed on rating this thing. But with all of that considered, I gave this a 7.3 out of 10. I certainly enjoyed it more than the Shake Shack burger. I don't think this is the greatest burger in the world, but I do think it is a pretty solid one, and it comes out to $9.99 pre-tax for the price. Could be cheaper, but it's not as expensive as Five Guys either. And it is about in line with Shake Shack, which we reviewed in the last video. Thus far, we have reviewed the Five Guys burger, the Shack burger from Shake Shack, and now the classic SmashBurger from SmashBurger. And I will say that SmashBurger, I've said that so many times in one sentence already, but regardless, SmashBurger was my favorite of the 3 so far. But I am optimistic that I can find something even better out there, so I will continue the search, and let me know in the comments if there's another chain that I should check out for this specific video review. And I'm also happy to, of course, review non-chains, but for this specific review series, I'm focusing on chains so that there are places throughout the country that people that watch my videos in the non-Chicagoland area can perhaps gain something from these reviews as well. With all that said, that sums up this video. This is my thoughts on the SmashBurger, classic SmashBurger. I hope you found it informative and helpful, and let me know in the comments if you've tried anything from SmashBurger. Is there something I missed from this place? Am I totally wrong in my assessment of this place? I want to hear your thoughts. Thanks for tuning in. I look forward to chatting in the comments as always, and I will see you guys in the very next video. Peace.